Hello and welcome back for another vintage cube draft. Easy pick here. We have a Lotus and we're taking it. Now last time I got a Lotus I went Storm. I'll be on the lookout for that again, but open to other things as well. But Lotus really, I think it's at its best maybe in Storm. It's just a good card though, it's good everywhere. Now what? No real Storm cards here. You could take Creeping Tar Pit, which is a fine blue-black land. Not really exciting me. You could take Golgari Signet, talking about unexciting picks. But it's decent. Like, if we go Storm, that's the best card for it. Coercive Portal, Cryptic Command. You could take Soulscar Mage, go for some mono red Black Lotus action. I'll be boring and take a Signet. And there's Emery Black Lotus. It's kind of a combo. We can take Emery. I haven't made an Emery Black Lotus deck yet, but that could be sweet. Otherwise there's Top, there's Marsh Flats, him, and whatever. I think Emery could also wheel, but I'll take it. I just want to be sure that I have it. There's Golos, which I like. Golos Emery, that could be a thing. Pyretic Ritual, don't want to take that this early. Mirari Conjecture, I'll take a Golos. And then what? Memory Jar. Memory Jar is interesting if I want to go Storm. Memory Jar Emery, could be a thing. Let's take Memory Jar. Stonecoil Serpent with Emery. Look what we're going to do with this Emery. We're going to go all in on it, and then our opponent is going to play a removal spell and kill it. But I'll take Stonecoil Serpent. That's a fine card. It's pretty decent with Lotus, I guess, for a 4/4 in turn 1. I'll take it. Well, that's a totally different direction from where we've been heading so far, but I do like me a Shinobi. Now what? I can take Mesmeric Fiend. That kind of works with Shinobi. It's a body. Blue-black's usually disruptive. I'll take that. I don't need to play this Memory Jar. And this Emery could still be fine in this deck. Woe Strider, Prime Speaker Vanifar, Control Magic. I kind of like Woe Strider. Control Magic is probably better. Woe Strider Emery is kind of a thing. Yeah, I'll take that. Correction Rager, Colligan's Command. Rager is fine, but Colligan's Command is a higher upside. I'll take that. Him the Turok. Okay, maybe I just go for a Shinobi deck then. Burial Rites, Elspeth Conquers Death. Normally I would take the Elspeth Conquers Death, but let's take the Burial Rites. It does have some synergy with Emery. Take Winter Orb here. Also some synergy with Emery. Maybe we could pick up an Urza. Yeah, Putrid Imp. This other card is not really a thing. Parallax Wave. Well, I may have gone a little bit too deep. Oh, I was going to say I may have gone a little bit too deep on this Emery plan. And while that might still be true, we're also picking up Ancestral, so I think our deck doesn't lack power. Underground Sea I would love to have, as well as this Vendilion Click. Lotus Petal's sort of interesting with Emery also, but let's take Ancestral. And then Narset. Yeah, that looks good. Just go for some blue-black stuff. Get out of here. Well, I was going to say get out of here Memory Jar, but maybe that's not actually true. There's Chromox, there's Dak Faden, there's Entomb. Entomb is interesting with our Emery, but we don't have much else to go with it. I think I did see like Animate Dead or something like that, but I think I just want to take Dak. Yeah, let's take Dak and then try and go Grixis. I will need some fixing, but I'll take Dak. Whew. Ashok too. Yeah, I like Ashok. Bunch of 3-mana Planeswalkers. Golos, maybe not at its best here. Well, we'll see where we land. There's some cards I wouldn't mind cutting, but can't complain after getting a Black Lotus and an Ancestral. Tinker, Reanimate, Time Warp. Whew, those are some cards. I don't know if I want to go Tinker. It does require some deck building choices. I mean, I have some artifacts already. Reanimate, well, fine, is not that appealing. Yeah, let's just take the Tinker. I would love Time Warp also, but I could take Relic as a cheap artifact, but it's not great with a lot of the other things. Treasure Cruise goes well with Emery. I guess that's one thing. Leovold, I'm already trying to splash red without any fixing as of yet, so don't want to get too ambitious. Night's Whisper, it's a perfect card. Or Tasigur. I mean, I'm not really lacking for card advantage, and I've said it before, and I will say it again. Tasigur also works with Emery. Maybe I do just take the Tasigur. No, I'll take the Night's Whisper. It's just cheaper, more consistent. Interesting pile so far. Dark Ritual or Freebooter. I don't need the Dark Ritual. Freebooter is a very good creature for Fallen Shinobi. Animate Dead, Lotus Petal. I think I like having Animate Dead in this deck. Lotus Petal is maybe a little bit too all-in. Although it is also an extra artifact for Tinker, and I don't have any real ways to reanimate or discard creatures or creatures I want to reanimate. Yeah, let's take this Lotus Petal. Then Damnation or Living Death. Let's take Damnation. Ooh, there is an Entomb. I will take it here. Not too much synergy yet, but maybe. Imperial Seal or Dark Petition. Imperial Seal. Maybe Reanimate comes to us? No. Rotting Regisar. I'll take it for the sideboard. Maybe we could have been Reanimator. Looks like we could have been. I also still haven't picked up anything for this Tinker. I don't need too much. I'll take Bazaar. And Tassiger even comes back to us. Okay. Time Walk. Whoa. Are we getting hooked up with a bunch of power? Wow. That is amazing. I really hope we are not going to waste this, because our deck has a lot of power, but it is a little bit clunky and somewhat all over the place, but not complaining too much about picking up a Time Walk. And then I can take High Tide. I can take Seagate Stormcaller, or I can take Urza. Urza is nice with Winter Orb and some other stuff, but Seagate Stormcaller with Ancestral Time Walk, that's gotta be the pick, right? Yeah. Man, we're getting hooked up. And then Jace. Jace is great also. Flipping it, flashing back, Ancestral Time Walk. Yep. I really wish I'd taken a Reanimate, so this Entomb could be better. I'm lacking some better interaction. Ooh, Scalding Tarn. That can make our splashes a little bit easier. Yeah, I think so. Daze also nice, but Tarn, I do think I want to splash these red cards. And then Looter Ilkor looks decent. This Tinker is kind of a wasted pick. I think we're just going to try and Shinobi people, but I'm lacking some interaction for that, honestly. Toxic Deluge or Grave Titan. I already have Damnation, but Grave Titan is a way to win a game of Magic, and I do feel like I'm lacking, so I'll take that. Yeah, I think having Reanimator cards would have ended up being quite good, actually, especially with the Entomb. Now what? There's Ancestral Vision, or there's this Null Priest. I think I take the Null Priest. I don't need more card advantage, but this Null Priest is another decent creature. It's a good creature to Shinobi in, and it can reanimate something in the late game. Burial Rites is not going to make it in. Massacre Worm, Phyrexian Metamorph. Let's take this Metamorph. It's a good creature for Emery, and the Stinker is not making it. Verdant or Scarab God. Verdant doesn't actually help me, and Scarab God is another way to win. So the only thing I'm lacking now is more interaction. For example, I don't have any real removal spells, but I guess our power just has to make up for it. I'll take this Sling Gang for the sideboard. Una's Prowler, Ophiomancer, take maybe Lightning Strike. I don't know if I want to splash that, and Desperate Ritual. Yeah, I mean, I cannot complain about getting Black Lotus, Ancestral and Time Walk, but I'm a little bit worried that even though we have all this power, we don't have a lot of great interaction. I don't want to play Winter Orb. I don't really want to play Golgari Signet. Let's take out this, where is it? Woe Strider, take out Tinker, Memory Jar, Golos. The rest seems good, but I still need to cut more. Entomb can go. Imperial Seal seems fine. Lotus Petal can go. And if I'm not tinkering, I don't really want Lotus Petal. And then maybe Ophiomancer. I do have some decent discard options. Maybe Tassiger can go. What does this look like? I'll play 2 mountains. I should really cut another card, but I don't quite know what. Or maybe I just cut a land, because I have quite a bit of card advantage. I'll go with a 41 card special. I'm curious. I mean, the power is there, but maybe actually I should cut Emery. Yeah, Emery is really only good with Lotus now. It's decent with Metamorph. It's decent with Stonecoil, but that's about it. Would I not play Metamorph in this deck if I don't have Emery? I think Metamorph is still good enough, as is Stonecoil. Yeah, let's do it like this. Round 1 with our Powered Pile. This is not a great one. We have Freebooter to look at their hand, but the rest of our hand doesn't really do anything. This seems fine. Let's put back this Treasure Cruise and then just see how this goes. I'm just unhappy to not see any power in this hand. Island, and we've drawn our mountain. So next turn I play Null Priest, and then the turn after I play Ashok. Sacred Foundry, sure. Ooh, Time Walk. I kind of want to save the Time Walk for when I have something on the board. Let's just cast this guy. and then pass. Next turn I slam Ashok, and then the turn after I'll try and Time Walk. Ooh, they get to see what we have. And then they play a Tundra. Are they going to cast something? Phantasmal Image. So they want to have something to pressure my Ashok with? I guess. Let's play this Mountain and then just play indeed the Ashok. Hopefully there's no counter for this. Looks like there is. Spell Pierce. Yeah, kind of felt like they might have that. Let's just attack and then we'll see what happens. I don't want to Time Walk yet. I want to do this when it's actually pushing my advantage a little bit more than just 2 damage. They attack back. And then what? Mox Emerald and nothing. Stone Coil Serpent. Let's just start by attacking and then I'll play a big Stone Coil Serpent, and then if the board is still the same the turn after, then I'll consider Time Walking to just push more damage and get something going. Let's make a big 4/4, and that does resolve. Nothing. They attack, and then what? Yep, we take our damage, and nothing? Let's just start by attacking, and then depending on what they do, I might Time Walk. I think I will, actually. Kind of hope to draw something then. They're incentivized to counter this, or they just take another 6. That's fine by me also. Ha! Expansion. Okay. Take an extra... so that kind of negates my Time Walk then, because now we're back to taking extra turns. Theirs resolves first. No, ours resolves first. Huh. Well, let's show them more power. We draw 3. Now we draw Seagate Stormcaller. Then let's just get in. A little bit unfortunate to draw that Stormcaller after we've played both Time Walk and Ancestral. They're down to 6. What can I do? I can just kill their Mox Emerald and their guy. I think I will. Their guy dies. They have a lot less mana to work with. They can't regain the life. And we do have lethal attackers. Yeah, they just play the land and then untapped. Now what? 5 mana. Bribery. They get to take our Grave Titan. Don't like that. I'll have the Damnation. And then I'm kind of out of stuff. Yeah, they take Grave Titan. Makes sense. Ooh, Scarab God. I'm not out of stuff, it seems. It's just Damnation. This all goes away, and then next turn I slam the Scarab God. Hopefully that resolves. Pia and Kiran. That's okay. Play this. I can also just copy their Pia and Kiran. No, then they just shoot it. That doesn't seem all that appealing. Let's go Scarab God. Hopefully there's no path or swords. And then this will take over the game if I get to untap with it. Fractured Identity. Ooh, at least they can't activate it. That's a nice draw. We get to Metamorph. If I Metamorph paying the life, then I also get to activate it, right? Yeah, activating is 4 mana, so let's Metamorph paying the life. Get a Scarab God, and then I just get Grave Titan. This is some haymakers going back and forth. They get to Scry. At least they don't have black mana. Hopefully they don't suddenly play a black land out of nowhere. And then on my upkeep, I probably also just want to use the Scarab God to Scry maybe. This counts the number of zombies, and Grave Titan is a zombie, I think. Or is it just a giant? I don't know. Oh no, it becomes a zombie because it's reanimated with the Scarab God. Let's see it. The Mirari Conjecture. You get back Spell Pierce now, and then next turn Fractured Identity so they can take care of our Scarab God or our Grave Titan. Yeah, I don't want any of these really. Dak Faden. If we slam in, they probably block like our Grave Titan or something. I don't know. Let's just go play Dak, and I can steal one of their Thopters. If I do that, then what? Then they take more damage, and I think I'm mostly just trying to push damage. And then attack with everything. Do they try and trade Scarab Gods? Yes. And I will just reanimate something else then with the Scarab God real quick. Block, and blocks it to go down to 1. And then I can get Phantasmal Image, and the Phantasmal Image can become a copy of Grave Titan. I think that is the best, or I can just copy Pia and Kiran and kill them that way. I mean, let's do Pia and Kiran. They now have a bunch of things they need to be able to kill. And they go down to 1. Their creature doesn't return, mine also. Maybe it did, but it doesn't. Oh wait, no, it does. So they also get back their Phantasmal Image. Or no, what was it? Theirs was a copy with their Fractured Identity. So I still have my Metamorph, and they have nothing. Okay, they get Fractured Identity, but they need to have like a board wipe into an identity. Yeah, this is a wild game. Faithless Looting. So they're digging for a board wipe, and they don't find it. Nice. All right, got there. Anything I want to change against them? I don't think so. Maybe Batterskull could be okay, but let's just resubmit. Let's hope we draw the powerful cards again. We have enough of them. No, I guess you can never have enough, but Night's Whisper, Time Walk, and the Scarab God. Yes, I'll keep this. I wish to have a Lotus on turn 1 sometime, but this is fine. Wandering Fumarole. Imperial Seal. So I can just Imperial Seal for Black Lotus, maybe? And then just play a quick Scarab God and see how that goes. I'm going to try that. Bloodstained Mire. Do I just go for the Scarab God now, or do I play Night's Whisper and then see what happens? I could just go for broke. Let's go Lotus. Let's make blue and play the Scarab God. Hopefully this is good. I just hope there's no counter. It's tapped, so that's promising. Yes, this resolves at least. Maybe they have exile removal now. Hopefully they don't. Next turn I also get the Time Walk and just beat them for 5 a bunch. Our opponent probably wondering how lucky we got to get Ancestral, Black Lotus, and Time Walk. Is it Signet? Yeah, that's fine. This doesn't do anything yet. Colligan's Command. Let's go play our land first. Time Walk. Beat them for 5. Kind of want to draw a red land. I say it and I do it. Oh, very nice. Let's just destroy their artifact and make them discard. My clock isn't much faster if I deal damage to them. So let's make them discard, kill their Is It Signet. And they even discard a creature. Not sure if that's what they wanted to do. So I will on upkeep just reanimate this guy. It's just a random 4/4, but that's good enough for me. Faithless Looting. Maybe there's even more juicy targets. No, they just scoop. Alright, power getting there. On to match 2. Round 2 with our power deck. Let's see. No power. We can Imperial Seal for maybe Ancestral and then go from there. And we'll keep this. It has some stuff going on. I'm just going to be disappointed every time I open a hand and it doesn't contain one of our 3 power cards, but can't be too greedy. I think I do just Imperial Seal for Ancestral, and then next turn I'm gonna play Mesmeric Fiend and then take whatever they have going on that I'm scared of. Island, so maybe we can snipe a counter spell with this. Mesmeric Fiend. Is this getting... No, they Mystical. I was going to say, is this getting Dazed? I think in the blind, Imperial Sealing for Ancestral is fine. It's kind of like a draw 2 only, but that's okay. Yeah, they revealed Tinker. That was what I was afraid of. Lodestone Golem, Time Spiral, Worn Power Stone. Okay, it's a little bit weird to go look for Tinker because now you're not really doing anything. I'll take a Worn Power Stone, but it's a little bit strange to me. So yeah, they now play a land and then play Tinker. Or play a land, don't do anything. They need to find an artifact and then they can tinker. Lodestone is a little bit awkward in their Time Spiral deck. I don't know. We'll see. Our opponent might have a plan. We can also just copy this Mesmeric Fiend. I'll start by Ancestraling. Ooh, Hymn to Torok. Let's Ancestral ourselves. Hopefully draw Swamp. No. But we do find a Looter. So I'll play the Looter. Then attack with the Mesmeric Fiend. And then if I find Swamp on my next draw step, I get to go Seagate Stormcaller, copying him. And I also get to attack with the Looter. If I don't find a Swamp, maybe I can find one by looting. But that looks pretty decent. They play another land and then nothing. Perfect. So we get to get all of their cards. Let's just play the Seagate Stormcaller now. Yep, copy the next spell and then hymn them. Copied, so all of their hands gone away. Yep, Tinker gone, Time Spiral gone, and they've drawn another island. Sweet. This is kind of brutal. Our clock isn't super impressive yet, but no need for it to be. You can just discard Grave Titan and just play... Let's see, we're beating them for 4 a turn. Then next turn I can play Stone Coil. Or just this Metamorph. Yeah, let's get rid of the Metamorph. That's fine. Did they draw anything they can cast? Thada Adele. So they get to get an artifact from our deck. Ew, I don't like that. Now I'm sad that I didn't keep this Metamorph. Let's go attacking with not the Mesmeric Fiend, just the Looter and the Seagate. They get to get our Lotus. But maybe we can find our Colligan's Command or maybe a Time Walk to avoid this. Send with these. Yep. Ooh. Can just play a Scarab God and now discard Grave Titan. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. Just fetch our red Scarab God and then pass. I mean, Grave Titan Scarab God is quite a quick clock. Yeah, they get to get in with Thada. Or do they want to block? No. I mean, they get to steal our Lotus. That's pretty good. Their lost card better also be good. Lotus is stolen. And they still scoop. Okay, sweet. Seagate, Stormcaller, Hymn to Turok. That is a nice combination. Is there anything I want to change? I don't think so. Maybe Stonecoil could go. I'll just not make any changes. I want to watch out for Tinker, but there's not too much I can do about it if they're really fast. This hand, if I had some lands, I'd keep it, but as is, it's not good enough. I'll keep this. Put back a swamp. I need to draw a blue land to really get going, but at least I have this Mesmeric Fiend to protect myself a little bit. Ooh, Mana Vaults. Well, if they have Tinker now, then I'm just in trouble. And we draw another swamp. That's not great. Hopefully no Tinker. Looks like a Tinker. Lodestone Golem. I see, but no land. Well, I mean, this Lodestone Golem is going to beat us, but maybe it all starts with drawing lands. Next turn I get to play Mesmeric Fiend, and then maybe cheat in a Fallen Shinobi. Yeah, who knows, maybe. Beat us for 5. They did find a second land. Stonecoil Serpent. I can also just play a Stonecoil Serpent to block this guy. I think I'll do that. And then I can trade with this, and then hopefully find blue mana. Kind of hope they miss on lands again. No, they don't attack, so they don't want to trade. Makes sense, they're missing lands, so... Ooh, now what? I can just Imperial Seal for Lotus. Seems like the play here. Get Black Lotus, and our guy stays back, and then I can just play some blue thing, or I can first play Mesmeric Fiend, see what's up. I mean, the best situation is if we first find blue mana. Ooh, they have 3 mana now. Now the question is, if they want to attack now, do I just let that happen? Yeah, we're tapping 3, so I think this might be a Tinker. So if they attack now, I think I'm just gonna take this and not do anything. Ooh, Metamorph. I see, Metamorph. Copying Lodestone. Now what? Now I can play Black Lotus, but then I don't really get to do all that much with it. I guess if I play Lotus, then I have 6 mana, but all of my spells cost extra. I think I just have to block now and just wait, and then maybe if I draw a blue or a red land, I can play Dak and steal their golem. That was weird. I kind of felt like they might have a Tinker, and I wanted to avoid getting tinkered. I mean, if they have a removal for this now, then I'm dead. Dimmer Signet, sure. Yeah, and then I have to trade with this Lodestone. I'm down to 3. Hymn to Turok. Oh, that's not going to help me, so I just play Mesmeric Fiend. Take some card out of their hand, and then hope to chump, and then still look for lands. Emrakul, Force Negation. Ew. Force Negation also kind of brutal. So let's take Force then, and I play out my Lotus. And then next turn I have to play Fallen Shinobi to block, because this Force is otherwise is going to get me. I don't love where I'm at. I mean, now I have to block. They get back their Force. Curious what they play. This is a weird game. I guess my opening hand was a bit greedy for a keep. Thada Adele. Well, by playing Thada, they cannot force. I can play this Null Priest, block the Thada, but then I am dead. I know they can't force. Playing Shinobi is also a little bit weak. Oh man, just never drawing lands is really biting me here. I cannot kick this either, otherwise I would be able to kick it, get back to Mesmeric Fiend. Now what? I mean, you can play this Null Priest, block the Lodestone, gain some life. If I play Fallen Shinobi, I lose all of the mana that I had. I have to trade with the Lodestone Golem. They hit with the Thada. Thada finds Phyrexian Metamorph. I mean, I have to do this, but I'm not very happy about it. This is just kind of terrible. I also go down to 1, and then next turn I can play the Null Priest. I don't know. I'm not sure how I'm getting out of this. Just never drawing any lands other than the 1 swamp. Kind of messing with us. If I'd drawn an island, this game would have been easy. Or they attack only with the Lodestone. I'm very happy with that. Let's just trade then. They now have a lot more mana available. So do we. Let's see what they found. Just Metalworker? Yep, just Metalworker. We know they have Force Negation, Time Spiral, drawing in another swamp. Kind of brutal. Let's just hymn them first. Time Spiral and Force Negation gone. So they have Emrakul and 2 unknowns. Cast this Null Priest. This will trade with the Thada, and then we can block the Metalworker also, potentially if they attack. Downside to playing an island means that Thada is unblockable and hard to kill. Yeah, I need to draw islands and I need to play islands. Ooh, Mystical. Well, I guess we get to see why they put Tinker in their deck. Ooh, Bribery. Bribery probably also does it. They can just get our Grave Titan, and then that's going to be game over. Well, let's see what else they show us. Wars of Signet. Why not just... Yeah, I guess this is fine, but why not just play the Bribery straight up, not worry about any of this? I guess they don't take damage this way. Okay, Bribery, and then I take one draw step. If the draw step is not exactly Damnation, I can just scoop. Yeah, they get Grave Titan, makes sense. Show me Damnation. We've gotten unlucky so far, so time for a little luck. Yeah, they attack with Thada. I'll block, gain some life. So Damnation or bust, and it's a bust. An island anytime sooner than the very last turn of this game would have been great, but it was not meant to be. Anything I want to change in light of all of this? I don't think so. I mean, Bribery is annoying, but I'm not going to take out all my fatties just to stop their Bribery. Then how am I going to win? Just give me an opening hand with Black Lotus. Would you like to play first? Yes, please. No Black Lotus, but there is Disruption, card draw. I'll keep it. Shinobi. And we even have Dak, and if you find the lands for that, that could be good. Start with a Swamp. Island. Do they have the Mana Vault again? No. Night Priest. Let's just start by freebootering. See what we're up against. Okay. There is Dimmer Signet and Tinker and Emery. I think I just take away their Tinker. I can't keep them off of artifacts forever, so Tinker seems like the best card to take there. They play a Mountain and then a Signet. Next turn they'll have an Emery. Ideally I draw a red source. Ooh, Mesmeric Fiend. I think I need to play Night's Whisper and get the cards flowing. We found the land. That's good. Attack with the Freebooter. They get to play Emery. Or Metal Worker, actually. Metal Worker is a little scary. It's going to make a lot of mana. If I draw a land, I can also Fallen Shinobi, but then they get Tinker, so that doesn't seem great. They do have an Emrakul in their deck. If we ever get to hit Fallen Shinobi and then get an Emrakul, that's going to be great. Yeah, they start with a Metal Worker, and then they can also still play Emery. Ooh, not playing Emery even. Damnation. That seems a little bit too much. It's rough that we again miss on lands. It's just attack with the Fallen Shinobi, then play the Looter, and then next turn we'll have more looks at lands. But I'm playing 17 on 40 cards, so I feel like I'm getting unlucky. Looter or Core. And they get to go nuts with this Metal Worker. I mean, if I had drawn a land, I would have been able to play Mesmeric Fiend as well. It would have been great. Whew, 6 mana. So they found a Signet. Yeah, Solemn. They play all of this stuff. Yeah, I can't really Damnation it away because then I give them a Tinker. So Solemn is in play. I can just Metamorph and copy my Freebooter. Emery, yep. See what they hit. Lion's Eye Diamond, Goldofa Forge Master. Oof. Well, Wars of Signet played, and they can play Metamorph, or they can just keep that. Their hand's on the table, pretty much. Looks like they're also casting Metamorph. Probably copying my Freebooter. Yep, Metamorph. Copy Freebooter. So they take what? Damnation or maybe Dak Faden? I hope to draw land, attack with the Looter, and then just Shinobi them. And then please just give me Emrakul. Just once, give me Emrakul. Yeah, they take Dak, even though we can't cast it. I guess they're planning to do Forge Master next turn. So they will need some time to set all of this up, but eventually they'll essentially get the Tinker with this Forge Master. Ha, we draw land, so I am going to get to Shinobi them. Let's just fetch for a red. And yeah, let's see if Shinobi can get us something nice. I'm really hoping for that Emrakul. We saw it, so we know it's in there. Unless they boarded it out, but I doubt it. Yeah, they can't block this. This is Shadow. Okay, Shinobi, come on, some business. Usually I just hit lands, but for this one time... Ooh, Thran Dynamo. I guess that's something. Does mean we have a bunch of mana now. It's going to be hard to get Shinobi through next turn. But No, I'm missing black mana. I guess they are going to use Emery to cast Forge Master. They've drawn a land. Yeah, they're going to cast this Forge Master. And I'm just hoping that the fatty that they have is not Sundering Titan or maybe the 7-11. I think Blightsteel can maybe find something to copy it or something like that. I guess Tinker's usually just bad news bears. Yep, Forge Master. Can we draw Time Walk? Time Walk would be amazing here also. Solemn gets in, not blocking. Black Lotus, that's another one. Black Lotus does it. Ooh, Time Walk. I see. You can just attack with the Fallen Shinobi. Maybe I start there, see what they do. I mean, if they want to kill it, they have to use the Forge Master. Yep, they block with the Metal Worker. And then next turn, they either block with the Freebooter or... And then we get back Dak. Yeah, this works out perfect. Because we get the Time Walk now. And can I also treasure cruise? I think I can. Do need to delve away my time walk. I guess we have Jace, so I don't really want to do that. How about I just play Looter? That gives me an extra draw next turn, and it discards a card. Yeah, I think this is fine also. We draw an island. I'm not going to play it just yet. Let's attack with Looter and Fallen Shinobi. Curious if they now want to trade with the Forge Master. No, they're just going to take the Shinobi hit. Oh, that's risky. Let's take the Shinobi hit first. 2 lands. Come on! Really? 2 lands. Ooh. Colligan's Command. So we get to kill Emery and their Forge Master? And we just discard this useless island? Okay, that is actually quite good. Or I can just kill the Freebooter, but then I don't get to kill the Emery. But then I get to steal the Forge Master. No, I think this is good enough. Let's kill the Forge Master, shoot the Emery. Yeah, this is quite brutal. And then I also get the Treasure Cruise still. So delve this, and then I'm just gonna pay the rest of the mana. I don't think there's anything I'd want to cast, and I'd rather have these for Jace. Imperial Seal, yeah. I mean, now I'm missing on black. They need to top deck. Yeah, they scoop it up. Whew. I was gonna say I'm gonna tutor with the Imperial Seal, and then I will draw the card with the Looter. Wow, that and Colligan's Command coming in clutch together with the Time Walk. That was a tense match. I was worried I was going to lose with this deck, and that kind of be embarrassing. I'll see if I can win the finals also. Match 3, and it's a little bit different than what I wanted to show you guys. Turns out I didn't actually click record for match 3, and I thought about just forgetting about this video and not posting it at all. But how often do you get Black Lotus, Time Walk, and Ancestral in the same deck? Also thought that match 1 and 2 were somewhat interesting, so I did want to give some sort of conclusion. So I'm just going to watch the replays and take you through how this final match went down. Apologies for missing it. I'm also a little bit bummed about it, but we'll just have to make the best of it. So this is usually going pretty fast, so I'll try and do my best to keep up with everything that's going on. So we open on that one, we mulligan that away. Then we have this one, let's us play Seagate Stormcaller turn 1 off of this Black Lotus, and we get to him and take away 4 cards out of their hand. So that seemed like it would be good. So we go for it. Our opponent is in a minute gonna Ancestral, so they draw 3, which makes this line quite a bit worse. Rather than leaving them with 2, they still have 4 cards left after this. And they discard Sheldred and Daze. Interesting, they didn't Daze this, but they did discard a Sheldred, so there's some sort of Reanimator deck. And then hymning them can sometimes backfire. We Imperial Seal for Ancestral, attack, and here it takes a turn for the worst. My opponent has Demonic Tutor, reanimates Sheldred. Yeah, our Ancestral doesn't find us anything, and then I'm just going to be dead to Frost Titan being reanimated next turn, tapping down my lands, and I don't really have a removal spell in my deck that can get me out of this situation. So we lose game 1. Now we're here for game 2. I have a Black Lotus start. I have Imperial Seal, I have Jace, so I could have played a turn 1 Jace. Instead, I'm going to Imperial Seal for Ancestral, and then try and go for Black Lotus, Jace, Ancestral the turn after. So I play Black Lotus, then find some lands. I find Narset, decide to go for that, just because that is something that disrupts my opponent more, and I can still play Jace easily the turn after. I find Jack, I play the Jace, and then my opponent has Demonic Tutor, so they've gotten the best card out of their deck. Didn't do anything. We loot, then I'm playing Freebooter. They then Hero's Downfall my Narset to get rid of it. And I see a hand with absolute garbage. We minus the Jace, flashback Ancestral. They play some more lands. We have a mediocre clock, but we do have this Fallen Shinobi. Shinobi gets me their Ancestral, so now we have to discard. They play more lands. We find Time Walk. That's always good. Here I'm worried they might have something under the Sheldock Isle that can ambush me. They do not. Get Liliana, play Sower, see their hands, still garbage. And I Time Walk, and then I actually forget to plus my Jace, I think, which would have been nice. But we do get Seagame Stormcaller Time Walk. They have a Sheldred under the Sheldock Isle. So I'm curious why they didn't choose to flash this in to block my Fallen Shinobi. That seems like it would have been better, but they scooped to the double Time Walk term coming up. And that was game 2. Really fast, and hopefully you got to follow this at least a little bit. But we'll go for the third one, and the third one is a lot more interesting. So game 3, we have a very nice hand, Ancestral Jace, Mesmeric Fiend, Seagate Stormcaller, and we even draw a Lotus. So we had Lotus on turn 1 every single game. Our opponent has started on Bazaar, so that could be scary. but it could also just miss. I decided to go Mesmeric Fiend to make sure that I don't just lose to random stuff. And we see an Emrakul that we can take, and a pretty bad hand otherwise. Also get to play Jace. They play Darkslick Shores. So our opponent kept a very bad one, hoping that Bazaar gets them out of it. And this is where you see that my deck has a lot of powerful stuff, but not a lot of ways to win a quick game. We Ancestral into some more lands, Jace into more lands, and then just have Mesmeric Fiend attacking. Our opponent Bazaars and discards Sower, Makeshift Mannequin, and Corpse Dance, which is a little bit weird to me. Feels like they're trying to reanimate something, but they're discarding their reanimate spells. They have an Animate Dead for Elishnorn, which basically blows up my whole board, but is only 3 power to attack with. Then I go Night's Whisper, find Dak, that doesn't really help me much. They keep Bazaaring, discarding Demonic Tutor, which has me worried, because why would you discard Demonic Tutor? And they actually have a reanimation spell for Jace. And then I Colligan's Command to Jace, thinking it will kill it, but that's not actually true. Then they attack, and they also end up making a mistake, because they tap Jace to loot, but when it transforms, it actually goes back to its owner. So now I have a Jace, and now I can flashback Ancestral to look for more stuff, find some nonsense, decide to Treasure Cruise, find Time Walk. So I've drawn a bunch of cards and taken an extra turn. Our opponent only has 1 card in hand. So if I can get rid of this Elishnorn, I'm in decent shape. Here I'm thinking a little bit what I want to do, because this Scarab God is, I think, my way to win this game. The Scarab God is a hard to deal with threat. It can block Elishnorn, well, maybe not block Elishnorn, but it can reanimate stuff to maybe get rid of the Elishnorn. We know they have a Bone Shredder in their graveyard, so I'm thinking, what can I do to leverage that? I have to discard, so discard some lands, and find Narset. I shrink the Elishnorn, and then I go for the Scarab God, and then they have Hero's Downfall, so the Scarab God is going to come back, but it does delay it. Elishnorn hits my Jace. I find Grave Titan. Grave Titan is not that impressive versus Elishnorn. Shrink Elishnorn, then decide to play Narset just to shut off their Bazaar a little bit more and maybe any outs. They have to discard a whole hand. I find Damnation, so I just Damnation away this Elishnorn. And I have no cards in hand. Bazaar is shut off, so they're living off the top of their deck. I find a land, and I think at this point it's almost guaranteed that I'm going to win. I get to flashback Time Walk with Jace, I think. Yeah. And I also have the Stormcaller to take an extra turn. Narset finds me a tutor, and I just get to play a Stonecoil Serpent first, because I don't have the mana for the Scarab God, and then just slam a Grave Titan, not even bothering with the Scarab God, play more creatures. My opponent has 1 turn to draw out of it, and they don't. So in the end, this was not the way I wanted to show these games, but I did want to let you know how I ended up with this deck ultimately. Managed to get the trophy. I was going to be very disappointed if I didn't manage to get a trophy with Ancestral, Black Lotus, and Time Walk in my deck. So this was a very nice deck. I don't think I'll get a deck like this one ever again. I hope you did enjoy it, even though that last match wasn't exactly how you're used to getting my content. I thought it was a unique enough deck to still feature this video. So hopefully I'll see you for the next one. And for that one, I'll make sure to record all the games properly.